Welcome to the show. This is The Force Always. My name is Diz, aka David Zamet. Let's get on with the show with the news, the views, the reviews, and interviews. Making news, as you know, Star Wars Celebration in Los Angeles is coming in 2027, April. And I will be giving you updates when updates are available. Be assured of that. Making more news, The Mandalorian and Grogu is getting heavy advertising through its talk shows in America. And Sigourney Weaver, the actress legend who's appeared in Aliens and Ghostbusters and now Star Wars, is really hitting the airwaves. Check out the YouTube replays on it. It's, a bit of fun. She's great. And they're really pushing The Mandalorian and Grogu, which does come out next week. And that is pretty much the news at this time around. Let's get into the views. Views this time around will be this is my views. It's views is my viewpoint or story idea view of Star Wars, but this time it's going to be a viewpoint. And so The Mandalorian and Grogu, we're all sort of excited. Well, a part of us are excited seeing the actual movie. I'm excited. Besides, the last week events. But anyway, Mandalorian and Grogu, if you get there early, this is probably a good time to get there early to see what the trailers are. This is the time that I actually love to see. I love trailers. And what trailers are going to appear at the start of Mandalorian and Grogu? Some are saying the possibility of Avengers Doctor Doom, or Doomsday, could be a trailer, because the actual trailer does exist. They played it at CinemaCon in Vegas, I think 3-4 weeks ago. So there's an actual trailer out there that has not been pirated and put online. But yeah, so there is one that exists. We may get a variation of that, or we may get exactly that. I think the possibility of having that is high, because it's not a Star Wars thing, it's something else, but it is connected to Disney, and it would just make the Mandalorian experience more exciting, especially to go and see the trailers again and again. Maybe for the trailers, if people didn't like the film or like the film, to see that trailer again. I think it's pretty high. I'm going to say I reckon it's going to be 75% chance. Anyway, so that's one possibility. I have also said before that we may get something for Star Wars Starfighter, which is coming out in 2027. It's the next big standalone film coming for Star Wars. Sean Levy is the director, and Ryan Gosling is the main actor, is playing Starfighter. We all assume, and I think it's pretty much guaranteed. Would an image or something like this appear? I think the likelihood of this is a bit less, but I'm going to say 65%, something. Just a tease or something like that, and a quick, short trailer, 30 seconds. It would make the experience not too detracting from the actual movie. If it was short and it was exciting, it would just, and the film will speak on its own merit when the film is shown, and the story and stuff like that. So I'm going to say possibility is high. The only other possible trailers that we may see is a variation of the Spider-Man trailer. It could be another one of those. And really, I'd say Disclosure Day, maybe a final one of that. which it won't be too exciting now because we've seen a couple versions of it already. So I'm excited for the film, Disclosure Day, but it's my most anticipated, along with Michael, which was Michael Jackson. And so far, so good. But anyway, that's my predictions, my viewpoint. I think 65% we're going to get a Starfighter short tease. 75% I think we're going to get Avengers Doomsday trailer, a variation of the one that was already presented at CinemaCon in Las Vegas. What is CinemaCon? It's just for theatre owners of up-and-coming films in this next year or two. They get to see it. We don't, just the theatre owners and some YouTubers. And, you know, Spider-Man is a possibility variation. Disclosure Day, a variation of that, maybe. I don't know. But that is my views for this time around. Let's get into reviews now. Reviews this time around is going to be about the advertising campaign for The Mandalorian and Grogu. How is it going at this stage? We're about a week out. Less than a week out, I think, now. How's it going? I think it's actually been effective. I think this last 3 weeks to sort of a month, we've got, you know, a lot of clarification that it is a cinematic experience. And I think visually, from what we've all seen, including myself, it is. Besides the first trailer, which we're a little bit concerned about that, and the fact that it is a TV series coming to the big screen, which for me, it's not that much of a problem. I think the advertising campaign has been great. The only thing that happens time and time again is they give away too much footage to the actual film leading up to the week or weeks before the release. It just sort of, like, I cannot help myself. I'll watch it. There's some things I haven't watched, but there's just, you know, let's just wait. You know, it's all done. You've got me. I've got 2 tickets already. In 2 separate sessions. You know, so besides that part, I think everything else has been good. I'll give the advertising campaign an 8 out of 10. That's the advertising campaign. I know we had, you know, big letdowns to a lot of people. Not really myself, but, you know, the whole beer version type of commercial that was on the Super Bowl, which was not accepted really well. The first, you know, public trailer was not really accepted that well. But I think everything else after that has been exceptional, and I think it's been on track. And so I think so. I'll give this advertising campaign about an 8 out of 10. Anyway, that's my reviews for this time around. Let's now get into interviews. And as I open up the possible page that I should be, no, I'm not signed in, I better sign in. So I'm going to, my interviews is usually on my last video. And I answer the comments that have been left there. And let's go to that now. I'm going to get there now. And thanks, I should say, thank you so much for the subscriber support in the last week or so. It's been, for me, great. But it's been because of an unfortunate event. But I'm very fortunate to have every single subscriber. Thank you very much. So I'll just go to the last video that I did. I usually have this open, but today I've not had it open. Anyway, so the comment section, which is my interviews for this time around, Hans Colo 619, I think it's Hans Colo or Hans Cholo 619. It says, hello there from San Diego, CA, which I'm guessing California. Sorry for my ignorance. Love the channel. Really hope to see you at Celebration. I have liked that, and thank you so much. You have been a little bit of a message and subscriber support in this last week. Not just because of that, but I really appreciate someone from San Diego, or anywhere that for that matter. I have been to San Diego before, and I think, as I said in the message, I think the airport is really close to the actual city because the planes fly really, really low. And it's a lovely, just, relaxed city. Here's a fun fact about San Diego, which I'm sure Hans Cholo 619. I do apologize if I'm butchering your name. I don't mean so. It is actually where the original Top Gun was filmed, parts of, on the sort of lake or the water area. And it's just a great, chilled city in America. Definitely a place I'd want to go back to. So that's thank you very much for that message. And the next message, well, one of our regular favorites, not to say not everyone, I mean, everyone is a favorite, but, Michael from Werribee South. Where's Werribee South? Well, it's down under in Australia, Melbourne, Australia, on the other side of the bridge for good reason. Michael from Werribee South, he is asking, why did the Q-It system fail to assign visible numbered place markers? He's talking about the Star Wars Celebration ticketing fiasco. That's interesting because I think it should have. It would have helped a lot of us. And I think it was just part of their sort of IT setup, which was, it should have had it, but it just, it would have benefited the customers, not really the organisation. Maybe that's why. But yeah, I think that would have killed a lot of people lining up for that long. Why? We can never know really why, but that is my answer. The next question is from Michael von Werribee South. Should tickets be permanently non-transferable to entirely eliminate secondary markets? Yes. I mean, I'll understand that if you can buy, I would push it as 2 to 4 tickets, extra tickets, just 2 to 4 tickets, especially to, massive events, massive iconic events. And we're talking about the Star Wars Celebration 2027 here still. Should tickets be permanently non-transferable to entirely eliminate secondary markets? I think so. I mean, the scalpers are going to a degree, get a bit of fun. And us, real fans, we're just not getting that fun. The ones who've missed out, that is. But, we'll see how it pans out because there's more things to be obtained that will be using an online service like the panel reservations. And even when you get to the actual event itself, there's a lot of hurdles to jump yet, my friends. But anyway, the next question, Michael, again from Werribee South. What caused the widespread cart errors that kicked fans back to the start? That's another good question. It's obviously some sort of technical error. I would say from the inundation of people staying online and just maybe the whole amount of tickets being ordered in one sitting, in one, from one person. That's all I can put it down to. It's definitely technical error, but that would have hurt. I mean, that would have hurt the people who would have just got kicked off and had to start again. Boy, what a mess. Reed Pop, Star Wars Celebration, whoever else is involved. Anyway, the next question Michael is asking, he's from Werribee South, the same one. Is a purely randomized lottery system better than a first come queue? I'm going to say either. I think a first come queue is probably better. I'll go with that. But I think the ultimate thing here, in my opinion, my initial personal reason is they've undersized the event. In whether it's whether they've utilized the whole Los Angeles Convention Center or not, they have undersized this event. I could have told you before this, if you told me how many the facility holds, which I'm actually waiting on word myself from the actual center itself, so I'll update you that hopefully shortly. They have responded to me on which particular event, which I didn't mention, but now I've mentioned to them and sent back an email to the Los Angeles Convention Center. Hopefully I can get to the bottom of this with that. But I'm going to say first come queue is better than a lottery system. I think the lottery system it causes too much anxiety. Anyway, that's my opinion. Anyway, to the final question: how effectively are Lucasfilm and organizers actively revoking sculpt tickets? Well, I don't know what they're going to do, because it is and has not been sort of monitored. So really the people who do get scalp tickets, who actually get them in their hands, you're not going to know where that ticket came from. You're just not going to know. It's and that, to be honest, seems to be a real grey area, in my opinion. That why didn't this organization know about this, or did they know about this? I'm not going to assume they did or didn't, because we don't know. But I do find it really odd that they would not done some research with a neighboring con, which is Comic Con, to find out how they could do this. Whether and they are on the same under the same banner, Disney. I'm sure they could have had somebody to speak to, but I don't know what that Lucasfilm are actually doing, but they need to sort of somehow get on top of this in some form. But if they don't, well, it's just one of those things that has been really failed by the organisers, Repop, Star Wars Celebration, whoever it is, and whoever else. And they just need to get on to ASAP getting those tickets re-available to the fans who have missed out and will not pay extraordinary amounts online. And I would suggest not to buy those tickets online, because how do you know that you're actually going to meet that person or get that ticket when the badges or tickets have not been sent out? I highly suggest back away from that. I know it's tempting, but back away from that. Anyway, and just for the record, I'll give you the email address if you're interested in venting your thoughts. Star Wars Celebration at readpop.com. Read is REED. So again, it's Star Wars Celebration at readpop.com. Send them an email about your thoughts about this whole fiasco. Anyway, that's just a bit of an add-on. So that is the show for this time around. And until next time, my friends, keep rocking.